Hi everyone, let's look at this task 1. The chart below shows the total number of minutes in billions of telephone calls in the UK divided into 3 categories from 1995 to 2002. You can pause the video and you can analyze the picture perfectly. So it's an overtime essay, you can see it here. And the essay was written by Nigina, so let's start. The bar chart provides information about the total number of minutes of telephone calls in local, national and international and mobiles between 1995 and 2002. Okay, so it says the number of minutes, the total number of minutes. So you could say how many minutes, that would be a good paraphrasing style instead of this, but generally, okay, it's okay. And here, it said in the UK. So in your introduction, did you talk about the UK? So you should talk about the UK. So you should pay attention to this one. So did you talk about the UK? No. It would be better if you include it. Overall, it's clear that the figures for national and international and mobile calls, not mobiles calls, mobile calls increased during the period of years. This is redundancy, like no need to include it. During the period would be enough, and I think you forgot comma before while. You should use the comma. While local phone calls showed a slight fluctuation over the years. Okay, yes, increase. Okay, we can say a slight fluctuation. So, yeah, let's pay attention to this one. Here you said the figures for, and while that for would be better. That would be clear. Local calls showed a slight fluctuation over the years, like the figures for, while that for. Local phone calls cannot show a fluctuation, probably the figure for them, which means that for. That could show a fluctuation. In the beginning of the period, in 1995, local telephone calls was originally about. So look, in the beginning, actually first it should be at the beginning, not in the beginning. That's the first problem that you have. And aside from that, in the beginning of the at the beginning of the period means in 1995. That's why. And originally also you are using in the first year 3 times, like at the beginning of the period, so at the beginning of the period in 1995, pay attention to this. And originally means actually in the first year. That's why it decreases your coherence and cohesion score. I recommend you to avoid this. The local telephone calls was originally, maybe you could say, the quantity of local telephone calls was originally about 72 billion minutes, after which it experienced a sharp look. To say it, you have to say the quantity of, but you said local telephone calls and you are saying it. It would also be incorrect in this situation. That's why to correct it and to use was also, you definitely need the quantity of local telephone calls was originally, or the number of, was originally about 72 billion minutes, after which it experienced a steep rise. Did it experience a steep rise? I think that's a big blunder made by you. Steep means sharp. So instead of steep, you should have said slight. That would be correct in this situation. So, slight rise to 80%. Are we talking about percentage? I think we are talking about billion minutes, but you are writing a percentage until 1999 before decreasing gradually to 70%. Are we talking about percentage? So here you said billions minutes. That's wrong. Billion minutes. Billion minutes. And now you are talking about percentage. Where is the percentage? So that's a very big mistake. Yeah. In contrast, the figure for national and international telephone calls originally stood at about 35%. Again, is it a percentage? And there was a modest rise of 25%, means it should be 50-60. Yeah, okay, but it's not a percentage. You should consider this. It's not a percentage. Billion minutes. Okay, I'm not gonna mark it. This one is a mistake. So, meanwhile, mobile calls again, it should be. Which has the lowest usage? Is it about the usage? A bit strange. It's not, I think, natural. So you should find the proper vocabulary. In 1995, 5 billion minutes. So I wouldn't recommend using brackets. Experience the most significant rise by the end of the period. Okay, you said the most significant rise, but you are not talking about the ending point. So this one is a bit unclear. I want you to work on this perfectly. Yeah, I think that's all about your essay. And 139 words. Task achievement score definitely declines in this case. So it should be at least 150. So look, you could continue this by talking about the last point, but I think you didn't. Improve your coherence and cohesion. Right, look at these mistakes. Do not feel depressed. Look at the stupid mistakes. You made stupid mistakes. Percentages. So I didn't mention all of your mistakes. For now, the main mistakes are these mistakes. I want you to correct them. I will tell you the score by myself later. So yeah, I want to say thanks for watching and bye bye.